Math! Hey everybody, this is Mr. Regner and this is the Aftermath. Today we are focused on focus, and specifically we are looking at week 24, day number 3. If you watched a video previously, I'm wearing the same clothes when I reviewed day number 2, so keep in mind this is focus week 24, day number 3. Please follow along as you're reviewing this. It's going to help you a lot as you prepare for this week's quiz. Let's get to it right away. All right, number 1 says which point on the number line is located at negative 5/3. Here we are, negative 5/3. So I know if I have the fraction 5/3, I can actually turn that into a mixed number, right? Because 5/3 equals 1 and 2/3. If it's negative 5/3, it actually equals negative, that's a negative sign, negative 1 and 2/3. So if we understand that, that's going to help us a little bit. So our number line looks a little different today. We have 0 here, we have negative 2 here, and we have negative 1 here. All of our numbers are going to be negative because they all fall to the left of our 0. All right, so this is negative 1. If I'm looking for negative 1 and 2/3, do I even need to pay attention to C and D? Probably not. All right, so negative 1 and 2/3 is somewhere over here. I don't know if it's A or B, and that's what I need to decide. So process of elimination is going to help you out a lot. Look at it though. I've got 1, 2, 3 sections between negative 1 and negative 2. It would stand to reason that B would be negative 1 and 1/3, and B and A would be negative 1 and 2/3. And then negative 2 would be negative 1 and 3/3, if you really want to think of it that way. So this is negative 1 and 1/3. This is negative 1 and 2/3. And again, I'm going to write this down even though it sounds silly. This is negative 1 and 3/3, which would just be negative 2. So if I'm looking for negative 5/3, which I can think of as negative 1 and 2/3, hopefully the answer stands out loud and clear to you as A. Once again, number 1, pay attention to that number line, and then use process of elimination. I think that's going to help you a lot when it comes time for our quiz. Let's go ahead now and take a look at number 2. On number 2, it says city planners are creating a neighborhood map on a coordinate grid. The table shows the locations of the neighborhood library and school on a coordinate grid. On the grid, the distance between each grid line represents 1 mile. What is the distance between the library and the school on this grid? You may use the coordinate grid to help you find the answer by plotting the 2 points, and once again, I will do that. So it tells me the library is located at 6, negative 4, and the school's located at 6, 8. I always want to think about that elevator because I'm going to walk onto the elevator side to side first before I can go up or down. So here I have the library. It's at 6, negative 4. Let me do that by finding 6. Am I going to go to the left of the 0 or the right of the 0? I just realized I can't hear you. This is a video. What are you doing answering me? We're going to go to the right. Right here is 6. And then I have negative 4, which means I'm going to go down to negative 4. So 6 and negative 4 meet up right here. That's going to be our library. Then we have our school. That's located at 6, positive 8. So I'm going to go over here, go over first, 6, and then up to positive 8. Now here's where some people might be fooled or tricked, and don't be one of those people. This only goes up to 7, and then there's another line up here that's not labeled. If it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what do you think the next line might be? It's an 8. If you need to label it, please do, but 6, 8 is going to be going from 6 and then up to 8. That would be this location right here. So there is my school. So now, just like we've done before, I could think about this. I could take 8 minus negative 4 and figure out how many spaces there are. Or I could do it probably the more fun way by counting the number of spaces. So I'll start at my library, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 spaces. There are 12 spaces, and each space represents 1 mile. So I could say the distance between them is 12 miles. Pretty simple stuff there, as long as we're plotting our points correctly. All right, that's number 2. Again, you can figure that out by plotting correctly Make sure you're double checking so you don't put your dot in the wrong spot, and then just count the spaces. Let's move on now to number 3. Number 3 says a pint of strawberries costs $3.50. For a sale, the store offers a third pint free if you buy 2 pints at the regular price. Find the unit price of a pint of strawberries when you buy 3 on sale. Well, I can do this. This is pretty easy stuff. So I know that it's $3.50 for 1 pint. If I buy 2 pints, all I'm doing is doubling that price. If you need to do this off to the side, you can. But some of you are just going to know that $3.50 times 2, or plus $3.50, is going to equal $7. And that's perfect. If I get 3 pints on sale, remember the third pint is free, so that costs $7. I want to figure out the price of 1 pint when I buy 3 pints with the sale. So I'm going to take 3 and divide by 3 to get 1. So I'm going to take 7 and divide by 3 to figure out my price here. If you don't know what that is, don't be afraid of doing the math. So 3 goes into 7 2 times. 2 times 3 is 6. I can subtract and get 1 and then bring down my 0. 3 goes into 10. 3 times 3 is 9. I can subtract and get 1. I'll bring down my 0 and that's 10. 3 goes into 10. 3 times 3 is 9. I can subtract and get 1. Again, I could keep on adding zeros and keep on adding 3s because that's what's going to happen. But at some point I need to stop, and it's money. So I always stop at the penny. That would be the hundredths place. So this answer here is $2.33 per pint if I buy it on sale. All right, can't stress this enough, guys. On number 3, you want to make sure that you stop at some point with your division and round to the nearest hundredths place. In our examples on day 2 and now on day 3, we've seen that repeating 3. A 3 is going to make that round down, so it just stays where it's at. Let's move on now to number 4. Number 4 says you have 4 times as many guitar picks as your cousin. Lucky you. Let V be the number of guitar picks that your cousin has. Which expression represents the number of guitar picks you have? So your cousin has V picks. If you want to think of a number for V, maybe that's going to help you out, and you can certainly do that. But 4 times as many is going to be 4 times V. So just think about that for a minute, and hopefully that sinks in and makes sense. Let's take a look at our options. Letter A says 25 hundredths times V. That's the same as saying like 1/4 times V, but you don't have 1/4 as many picks, you have 4 times, so it can't be A. Letter B says 4 times V, because the parentheses mean times. That's exactly what we want. Letter C says 4V. There's no sign in between 4 and V, but we know that means multiply. Letter D says V divided by 4. Well, that's not right. That would be 4, or like 1/4 of the guitar picks your cousin has. That's not what we want. And letter E says V times 1/4. Again, that's similar to letter A. That's 1/4 as many picks. We have 4 times, so it can't be letter E. So process of elimination is going to help us out on number 4. That's our focus for this week on week 24. Make sure you review this video as often as you need to. Complete your focus along with the video. That way you know you're doing it right and following those steps. You're going to do very well on this week's focus quiz. I'm Mr. Regner. This has been The Aftermath.
Math, aftermath, it's the aftermath. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Math class is fun, but when it's done, stay in the zone. On your own, it's math review, made just for you. Take a video wherever you go. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Oh yeah.
Good luck on your focus quiz.
Oh yeah. All right.